Hello again, I'm Stephen Cronin. This is another watercolour demo. This is the Big 8 brush. Just a bit of clean water I've just bashed in there. This is a bit of raw sienna, a bit of alizarin crimson as well. And I'm not worried too much about where this paint goes. I'm just looking for sort of random effects on the paper. Not too much water. And I've concentrated the paint on this side, left that bit open just for a bit of variation. And I think what I'm going to do now is introduce a bit of Payne's grey into all of this. And then just pop in a few little clouds and things. Let's fill that in there. Little clouds, and I must remember to stop before I overdo it. Now what I might also do, if I just lighten that a little bit, just using clear water, just to lighten that horizon line, that bit of sky there. Also go into it as well and just mix all this together. And then right at the bottom, just a few little dabs. These are like clouds that are miles away, just above the horizon line. So I'm just dab, 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 dab. Probably done too many. So easy to overdo it. Let's make these ones a little bit bigger. I'm going to stop there before I do too much damage. Right, I'm going to mix those same colours again. But now we're going somewhere like this. And there's a few trees and bushes and things. Just trying to soak up that bit of water there. There's going to be some buildings as well, so this is just like a backdrop for me to scrape the buildings, scrape the card into, to show the buildings up in the distance, some little bit close to the foreground. So let's get that in dark first, because there's a bit of scraping in there, and there's a bit over here as well. So if I get the darks in first, I've got something to scrape into. Right, and before I scrape, you say it's got to be flat against the board, otherwise it'll just keep popping up and make things difficult. So I don't know if the paper's too wet yet, so I'm just going to give it a quick sample scrape. I'm going to have let's have a big one there. Yes, this looks alright. I have a big foreground one there. Pop the roof in on that side as well. Pop something in there a bit closer. Have something on the side there. It's more like that one's like a little shed thing. Again, I want something to scrape into, so I'm just raising the tonal contrast, making that a little bit darker. And a few scrapes on fence posts. And that is slightly too damp yet to scrape into, but I'm going to persist anyway. Maybe it's like a telegraph pole or something. That one, I think that's going further away. Also got building there. And a bigger one in front of it. Actually, that one's supposed to be in front of it. That's better. Just pop something down there. I'm just going to scrape some in front of that as well. It's quite far away, that one, so I don't want too much detail. I'm going to stick a telegraph pole there as well. So you've got a line going down to that house and then one goes away from there. All these little details just help add interest and gives the viewer something to think about. Let's have a few things down there. Right. Let's clean the brush. Maybe have another colour. Do we need another colour? If I just go raw sienna and see what that looks like as the foreground. Bit of ultramarine. It's like a winter scene, so a nice cold blue. Just something going on there in the distance. Make sure that's flat. The sky's looking very bare. What I might do, I'm going to do that sky again because it just looks so bland. So just sort of re-wet it. This time I'm going ultramarine and a bit of crimson. Let's try this sort of sky. I'm just pulling down from the corners. But I'll need a bit of that colour down there. Just a little bit of that sky reflection. Now I'll take a bit of tissue and just a few clouds. I want to vary them. I don't want them all the same. Again, maybe just a touch dark at the tops. Something like that. Right, now what I want to do with the path, needs to make that a little bit darker in the distance, just slightly silhouetted better. And if I just go something like that. I am painting over, I'm aware of that, so I'm going to have to re-scrape these buildings. Re-scrape that one in there. Just put that in something like that. It was just too light in tone in the back. So again, I just want to darken all this a little bit, and then just re-scrape some of these things. in the brush, bit of ultramarine, again just and what I want to do, this sort of big path down the centre. Just want to put in some of this colour, blend the edges in a bit better. You know, just a hint of some tracks. Let's give that a quick dry. Just make sure it's flat first. Let's get some trees in. I'm going into those same colours just to get some I'm deciding. I'll see what it looks like without the foliage first, and then decide afterwards whether to put the foliage on. That one's a little bit smaller. Let's have a big one over here, I think. How are they looking? One over here maybe. That one's going up there. We have one slightly behind now, I think. That one's a little bit smaller. A few more things going off down there. A few little flicks. A few things going on down there as well. I might just leave them without the leaves actually, I think. Shall I? Yeah. We've got a few little details going in there. Let's just work out. I'm just thinking maybe mark the edge of the path with this. Like that, just very random. Edge of this road that's coming off like that. And if it's too strong, just blend it in with your fingers. Just a few little dark. Need a few dark tones here and there. Crimson, raw sienna, Payne's grey, ultramarine, just little dibs and dabs. generally trying to sort of darken tones here without too much definition, trying to keep it as loose as I can. I want that to be a little bit darker. So I think it's time to stick a few figures in, I think. Let's just let it dry. And I might try a few figures on this one. See how we get on. And we'll start with the little size 0 brush. Just going to take some of that mix, got down there, quite a darkish mix. So start up there. There's one person. Someone else. I might stick someone over here. So these are a bit closer now. That's trying to give the impression, so there's quite a few people sort of hanging around in this. I might just stop it there actually. I'm just trying to wonder now what should I just need like a little shadow or something, got some light. Just like a little shadow coming. That's it, I think. Maybe just a little bird. Little bird up there. I think I'm going to call that one done, I think. I'm just going to sign this one over here and call that one finished. So let's stick a mount on it and see what it looks like. There's our finished painting the mount. So if we go and have a closer look. I had a couple of goes at the sky. The first one, it was just too bland and boring and too light in tone. I wanted something with a bit more punch, so I've sort of darkened, re-wet it and darkened it a bit. Bit of clouds there with the tissue, just to try to get a bit more contrast between the light horizon line, the darker elements of the sky, and then sort of darker band, darker tones across the sort of middle ground there, just to contrast nicely with the sky, and then the darks again in the top, and then it comes a bit lighter again down the bottom. So I did sort of, when I was darkening it, I did paint over a bit of what I'd already done, so I had to sort of re-scrape. But you do get this nice loose look that I'm always trying to get. I don't like nice neat shapes and patterns, and I always like it to look as loose and sort of abstract. I think what I'm looking for is sort of as abstract as possible, but you can still tell what it is. Sort of semi-abstract, like to the max. So all these little lines and things, all these scrapings, just gives gives the eye something to think about. Little details that that can be anything you want them to be. Got a few little trees put in. I did think about foliage, but I thought they look more atmospheric with the leaves missing, I think. And then the ones over on the left hand side going right off into the distance. And you can see where these people, I did say they were shadows, but now I'm thinking that this is like I'm thinking like sort of winter's morning, and this is like a very damp road path, and so they're like reflections as the people are walking away into the great yonder. So I hope you enjoy that. Thanks as always for watching and for your support, especially the patrons over on my Patreon channel. You'll see the links to everything in the description, all the materials, books on Amazon, paintings on eBay, Patreon, loads of other videos on there, podcast as well. A couple of new podcast episodes going on today. So until next time, keep practicing. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and I'll see you again soon.